What is up, you guys? Vice Admiral Strawberry here. My One Piece Chapter 801 review. Better late than never. Okay. So, I know I haven't dropped a review since chapter 895. I just want to say I'm sorry for that. And the thing is, I actually did record like 4 reviews since then, but I didn't upload any of them. So, but you got to talk about this chapter, because this chapter was the revelations, like so much happened. I remember this reminds me of like chapter, I think it was 710 or 705 or 707 or something, when we got the newspaper on the Sun Eagle when Law and Luffy were headed to Dressrosa, and you know it had the information about the Law and Luffy alliance had Doflamingo resigning from Shichibukai, and it had the Kid Apu Hawkins alliance in the newspaper, and there was so much in that chapter. But this, okay, first, Rob Lucci's back. I have been watching other reviews, and I was thinking about this myself because I remember towards the end of Punk Hazard, we saw one of the underground brokers' silhouettes, and they had a top hat. But if you look closely, I don't remember if it was just like different in the manga or if you just different in the anime. You just look closely, but that guy didn't look anything like Rob Lucci. Like, he looked so different from Rob Lucci that it was pretty much confirmed that that person wasn't Rob Lucci. I mean, this could be a different person entirely, or that could have been Rob Lucci, but so it's confirmed Rob Lucci is in CP0 and he's on Dressrosa right now. Spandam's there too, so maybe I guess they both got promotions or they both got reassigned. Surprise Spandam. It looks like his mask is bigger. I don't know if that's a stretch to say that, but obviously Robin fucked him up and his face got puffy. So yeah, there's that. There is... Okay, then it goes to the Strawhats, and... Well... Man, I forget the order of this chapter, but anyway, then we go to Doflamingo, I believe, was next. And he has this sort of monologue. First he's talking to Suru, and then he sort of goes off on a monologue about how all the big names in the New World are no longer being held by him, are no longer under his reins, you know, because he was sort of, as people were saying, he was feeding the beasts in the New World, and now they're gonna get hungry now that Doflamingo's not there to feed them. So yeah, chaos will ensue, of course. In the translation I read, it says, "You should have cut my hands off," but I think that was sort of like a turn of phrase for cutting his hands off from the reins of the people in control, or the people or the beasts of the New World. Not at first, I thought they meant literally like they cut his hands off. So I thought he was gonna be on some crocodile two-handed shit. But I mean, he could still use, even if they did cut his hands off, which I don't think they did, he could still use his string powers from his legs, and then he could be, you know, rocking the crocodile hands or hook rather. Then we go to the Strawhats and we meet the going Luffy senpai, which I don't know what the front piece is called, the head of the ship. I don't know. I feel like I should know this at this point in watching reading a pirate manga. What the head of the ship is called. But anyway, it's Luffy, and holding up the mast is like a little going merry head, which I thought was pretty cool. And we see Cavendish. We see Bartolomeo's crew. And one of his subordinates looks almost just like him, except he has like curly hair instead of straight hair, like Bartolomeo. And we get the revelation: Strawhats' new bounties. And he said he threw out Law's bounty poster, which, I mean, that's pretty funny. Law didn't seem concerned at all. I think he has bigger fish to fry right now, but obviously, 500 million now. So Luffy is for 500 million. To be honest, I think it should have been more, but for one, I think he's stronger than Ace was pre-time. Well, obviously there's no post-time skip for Ace, but I think he's stronger than Ace was at his prime. Even though bounties technically aren't equivalent to the person's power and scale, but I mean, it's a discussion that I really wanted to get into eventually one day. I think I need to make more reviews before I can start putting out discussions, like at least put out consistent reviews before I make any discussions. But the whole thing is like, my whole discussion that I want to do is that bounties are like so inconsistent. It's like almost like a plot hole, like because you think about all the things Luffy's done to get what is now a 500 million berry bounty. He's been like directly opposing the government and taking out big shots. Like he's taken out Crocodile, Moria, Doflamingo now. That's 3 Shichibukai. And then like the rest of the Shichibukai are like his allies. So there's Mihawk, which helped out Zoro, Boa Hancock, which helped him out, Bartholomew Kuma, which helped him out. I think that was 7. Buggy, which he helped, which aided him in escaping Impel Down. Like, he's the son of Dragon. He's no Shanks. Like, what? The whole idea is like, what did Kid and Law do to get bounties almost equivalent to that? It sort of makes no sense, but again, the bounties were increased. Zoro's 320. I think is pretty good. I want to say it should be higher, but I think it's good. I mean, the thing is, Pika wasn't a difficult opponent, but it's not so much that Pika was a difficult opponent. It's just that it was such a massive feat for Zoro to cut up the stone the size of Pika's, giant body. Which, if he could cut through stone that size, I mean, he could kill. I mean, it's One Piece, people don't get killed. But anyway, Zoro's 320. I'm happy with that. Usopp is 200, which, I mean, I think it's the whole. Obviously, it's the whole God Usopp thing because they call him God Usopp on his new wanted poster. So obviously, they're sort of misconstruing, his whole influence as being some great sort of power. Obviously, not to the extent that they did on the island, where he was worth 500 million, and Luffy was worth like 300 million when Doflamingo put bounties on everybody's heads. But I think it's accurate. I'm gonna say that. Because I heard someone say that Oda said that Usopp will always remain the weakest Straw Hat. But the thing about Usopp is he uses his like intellect and skill rather than strength or abilities to, fight. So, and he is very gifted when it comes to his talents. So I think 200 mil actually suits him, assuming like the level of skill that he has when compared to other people's bounties, because being able to, now that he recently unlocked, I think it's sort of inconsequential. I think it's a coincidence, and it works out well that this whole God Usopp thing happened so that his bounty would get a massive spike. But on the other hand, he also unlocked Haki and was able to snipe Sugar from a massive amount of distance away, which is like something we had never seen before we have never seen such a great feat from Usopp like that, like such a far snipe. So I mean, there was the one where Daddy Masterson, I believe his last name was, on Logtown. He like shot this spinning thing from far away. I think that's the furthest thing. And then there's of course on Enies Lobby. But the thing you have to think about is a sniper is. Think about how valuable a sniper is on a crew, and if having a skilled sniper is the key to countering the snipers of your enemies, then it's important that Usopp becomes, so powerful, because I mean, I just watched Captain's something, I forget, and they were throwing out these crazy theories. It was amazing, but we still don't know who Green Bull is. We got a silhouette of him this chapter, or her, and I mean, it's something I just like want to put in the air that maybe Green Bull is a sniper. I don't think we've had any snipers in the Navy so far. But anyway, the top tier snipers in One Piece, we have Van Augur, and I'm going to assume that Yasopp is better than Van Augur. And if you think about Van Augur's feats, when they got to Mocktown, Usopp was looking out of binoculars for the island. He puts the binoculars down, and Van Augur snipes 3 seagulls above the Going Merry from Mocktown, and he's not even at the coast. They don't hear the bullets. They don't even see the island. They haven't even seen the island. So think of how big an island is, just the coast of an island is, when you're looking out binoculars, and then think of how small that a seagull is compared to an island, and he wasn't even at the coast of the island. So, and if Yasopp's better than that, plus there was a small scene that I completely missed until recently with Van Augur when Blackbeard and his crew were when they showed up at Impel Down, where the jailers shot at Van Augur, and he shot back and countered all the bullets. So imagine what level of skill is needed, what remains for Usopp. So yeah, that's very important. Frankie's 94 mil. Robin's was it 130 mil? Something. Luffy's pick is almost identical. It's just I don't know if in the manga they're gonna make it the same, or if Oda just draws it slightly different in the manga, but it's almost identical. Zoro's is badass. He's just bandana on, eye slashed. Usopp's is pretty sweet too. We don't know. I think we can assume that Sogeking's bounty is now. They realize that Sogeking is Usopp, because everyone could tell except for Chopper and Luffy that Sogeking was Usopp, without hesitation. So I'm going to assume most people realize that, unless they're stupid. Which I imagine there are a lot of people that are going to be as stupid as Luffy and Chopper. So, among the rest of the characters in the One Piece world. So, and Frankie was pissed, which I found hilarious. He was like choking Usopp because his bounty didn't even crack 100 mil. Sanji's 177. I think Nami's was 66. Chopper's went from 50 to 100. I mean, sucks for Chopper. I think the next time they get a bounty increase, Chopper's going to go... I forgot what Brook was. I think Brook was also below 100 mil. So I think Chopper is going to be above Brook and just below Frankie. If they ever, stop with that gag. So then we cut to Captain Jack, I believe. So this person's Captain Jack. I heard it. I swear to God, like 2 weeks ago, within the last 1 or 2 weeks, I heard someone say Captain Jack. And I'm like, who the hell is Jack? So I didn't get the chance to actually look into that, but this must be Captain Jack. So a lot of people say, well, it's obviously has some sort of thing, metal, or some sort of metal piece around his jaw, sort of like Captain Morgan. Some people are saying it is Captain Morgan. And obviously, it's apparent that Captain Morgan would have to have gotten like ridiculously more powerful to be in the position he is as most certainly one of Kaido's top subordinates. And he's going to try to recapture Doflamingo from the 4 warships with Sudo, who's a vice admiral, Fujitora, who's one of the current admirals, and Sengoku, who's former fleet admiral. Along with, I assume, you have Maynard and Bastille there, so those are 2 more vice admirals. So that's three vice admirals, an admiral, and a former fleet admiral, potentially at the same time. So I'm not sure if he's gonna try to take them all on, or if he has like some sort of ability that's gonna let him like snatch Doflamingo and like make like the wind. So yeah, that's interesting. I forgot to mention Doflamingo. When Doflamingo was giving a speech, there was this really beast panel of everybody. He was saying who rules the sea now? Is it the emperors, the Chichibukai, one of the sly Chichibukai, or one of those little shits from the worst generation. So a lot of people were saying that the big, along with the Yonko, the one for Big Mom didn't look like Big Mom. I think it kind of looked like Big Mom. I think Oda still left room for himself to tweak her character design a bit, and maybe that's her tweaked character design, or maybe it's just, sort of in an angle where she looks sort of different. But now we get our first sort of silhouette. Like, we see Green Bull, we see the top of Green Bull's head, and then a speech bubble covers like the face region. So I don't know if you consider that a silhouette, but Green Bull. So I guess Green Bull doesn't have horns, or maybe they're small horns, but I don't think we could really go much. Green Bull has like curly sort of hair. I think I saw something all the way to the right, because we still don't know one of the Shichibukais, because I counted everyone, including Doflamingo himself, and there's one person missing, the Shichibukai we still don't know. And all the way to the right, I couldn't really make out there was some sort of thing on the right, what that was. Maybe that was like part of a silhouette or part of a piece of the 7th Shichibukai. But yeah, tell me if you guys saw that there, if you know what that was. And lastly, Sanji's wanted poster. I might be missing something else again. I'm gonna have to read the chapter a few times. I might post some more thoughts on the chapter. But then there's, of course, at the end with Sanji, that his wanted poster says he's wanted only alive. So, I mean, everybody on YouTube probably already referenced the theory that Sanji is of royal blood. So, or he's a Shichibukai, or he's son of one of the Gorosei, or what have you. So, I might try to dig deep and see if I could find something original by the next time I post a video about what I think about that. So, yeah, next chapter. Well, alright. My rating for this chapter has got to be a 9 out of 10. So, 9 out of 10 this chapter. Next chapter, I predict. I heard someone had an interesting thought that, we've seen everyone in the New World sort of react to the events on Dressrosa except for the Yonko. Well, except for Blackbeard and Shanks. Blackbeard, Shanks, Big Mom, Kaido. Okay. So we've got movement from Kaido, obviously. Al Capone, the Al Capone guy, I forget his name, but the supernova based on Al Capone, I think his name's Al Capone. He's working with Big Mom, so we could say we've got some movement from Big Mom. Shanks, we haven't seen anything from his crew. Like I heard people saying, not my original idea, that now Usopp is actually known, along with Sanji's face is actually known, so we might see some sort of reaction from Yasopp. Also leading to more visuals from Shanks' crew. And then Blackbeard, we don't know what's going on with Jesus Burgess, so we'll see where Jesus Burgess is at. I don't think Sabo killed him, but I don't believe we've seen him since that moment where Sabo sort of finished him off. I don't know, man. One thing I also want to note is that now that Rob Lucci's back in the story, I think this is the first character who's had a cover story who's actually been worked back into the actual canon. Well, cover stories are canon, but has been worked back into the actual manga. So, I could be mistaken about that. I mean, obviously not all cover pages are cover stories, some are just random. I think I forget how much time passed between the mud guy, the mud Logia. I forget his name. But anyway, I forget how much time passed since then to Jinbei's cover story. So, in my opinion, I feel like we're going to be getting another cover story sometime soon. I think we're gonna sort of skip back or jump cut back to what Sanji and others have done on Zou in the next chapter. Obviously, we could still bounce around the New World. That'd be great if we could sort of have all the events in this chapter take one leap, like each one has the next step. That'd be, it'd make this story move slow, but it'd be pretty epic, to see, because we have all these we have 5 cliffhangers in one chapter. So, but obviously Oda likes to, give you a sprinkle of crack and then not give you anything else. So, leave your comments. Tell me what you guys think. You guys got any theories? Who are your favorite One Piece reviewers on YouTube? I'm trying to watch as many as I can. If you have a channel, I'll check it out. Rate the video, comment. Let me know. Alright, so Vice Admiral Strawberry signing off. See you guys.